Hi, I'm Gary, the Traveling Yogi. Thanks for joining me today for our 60-minute Vinyasa yoga practice. Make your way to your mat if you're not already there, and once you're on your mat, see if you can find a cross-legged position, or some other seated position is fine too. Then let your eyes close down. Then once your eyes have closed down, begin to feel into your body, as though you were exploring your body from the inside. And we're just going to take about 3 breaths to do that. 2 more. And 1 more, just exploring the body. Now bring your awareness to your breath and follow the breath in and out. Even breaths, about 5 counts on the inhale and 5 counts on the exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Once more, deep breath in and exhale and out. Now look off to your left and then to the right. And to the left, and to the right, and one more time, look to the left, and then look to the right, and then back to center. Now reach your arms up and overhead and bring your palms together. Interlace your fingers. Now press the palms up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press the palms even higher so you feel a stretch in the shoulders and the armpits. Now release the arms, bring them out to a T. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches up and over, stretch on the right side body. On an inhale, rise up. The core engages as you come up. Now the right hand comes down and reach with the left hand. On an inhale, release both hands back up. Palms together, interlace the fingers, press the palms towards the sky. As you exhale, keep pressing through the palms. The fingers stay interlaced. Slowly bring your hands down, so that eventually the palms press towards the mat. They're probably not going to reach the mat. Keep pressing away through the palms, then inhale and reach up. And exhale and down. And inhale and up. And exhale and down. 1 more. Big, deep inhale, rising. And exhale and bring the hands down. Now lean forward, press the palms into the mat, bend the elbows, bring your forehead down towards your hands, maybe touch your forehead to your hands, and straighten the elbows now. Fingers are still interlaced. Press the palms into the mat. Now release the hands, bring them out to a T and rise back up, keeping the spine long. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches up and over, stretching the right side body. Inhale, rise up, core engages. And the right hand comes down, and the left hand reaches up and over, stretching the left side body. Inhale and up. Left hand down, right hand reaching. And inhale and up. And last one, right hand down. Left hand reaches. On an inhale, rise back up. Remember to engage the core. Reach the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the knees, palms facing down. Sit up nice and tall. Chest is rising. Relax the shoulders back and down so the shoulders move away from the ears. Take a breath. Now left ear towards left shoulder. Then let your chin come towards your chest. Right ear towards right shoulder. And now lift the chin, look up to the sky. And left ear towards left shoulder. Chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. And again, look up to the sky. We'll go around 1 more time this direction, just circling the head on the shoulders. Lift the chin, left ear towards left shoulder, and now chin to chest. On an inhale, lift the chin high, and exhale and bring the chin to the chest. Do that again. Inhale. This time press the chest and the navel forward, lift your chin. Then as you, as you exhale, bend your elbows, bring your forehead down towards the mat. Rounding the spine forward, maybe touch your forehead to the mat if you can. Now press into the knees. And lift the chin, press the chest up, find a little back bend. And then as you exhale, again, chin to chest, draw the navel in, bend the elbows, and inhale and rise all the way back up. Once you're up, reach your arms up and overhead, and then exhale the hands to heart center and press your palms together. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale the arms to a T. Hands reach apart from one another. Take a twist to the left. We haven't done any twists yet. Right hand to left knee. The left hand comes down behind you. Now press the sitting bones down. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in for 7 counts. And then breathe out for 4. And again, 7 counts on the inhale. And exhale 4. After the exhale, come back to center and over to the other side. Left hand to right knee. The right hand comes down behind you. Breathe in again 7 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then exhale 4. And do that a second time. Inhale 7 counts. And exhale 4. Good. Back to center now. Then bring your hands down in front. Let's roll over the knees and come to table pose. Check in with your alignment in table pose. Make sure the hands are right below your shoulders. Then press your hands into the mat. Straighten your elbows like mine are. And feel your shoulders rising up a little bit. Make sure that your knees are right under your hips. Take a deep breath. And then let the breath go. Now inhale to cow pose. And then exhale to cat. And continue inhaling to cow pose. And exhaling to cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Just twice more. Inhale to cow pose. And exhale to cat. And now come back to a neutral spine. Leave your right hand on the mat. Reach your left hand up. And then keep your gaze down so you're looking at that right hand. And then bring the left hand under your body. And then tap the right shoulder with the left hand. And then press into the right hand, with the left hand, and then reach back up with that left hand. Let's do that again. Under the body. Tap the shoulder with the left hand, the right shoulder, and then press into the right hand and reach up and under the body. Press into the hand and reach up, and one more time. Under the body and tap the shoulder. Press into the right hand, straightening the right elbow. Reach up and now look up towards the thumb on that left hand, and then bring the left hand down so it meets the right hand. Over to the other side, left hand stays down, right hand reaches up. Keep your gaze down so you're looking at that left hand. And now come under the body, tap the shoulder, that left shoulder with the right hand. Then press into the left hand and reach up. Keep your gaze down. And again, under the body, tap the shoulder, press into the left hand, reach up, gaze is still down. Again, under the body, tap the shoulder, reach up. And one more time, under the body, tap the shoulder and reach up. Now lift your gaze up and look up towards that left hand, deepening the spinal twist. And that's it. Bring the hand down. Back to table pose. From table pose, press your hips to the right. And then to the left. And over to the right. And to the left. Keep it going to the right. And to the left. And twice more to the right. And to the left. Now come back to center. I guess so we said twice more, isn't it? So keep going. Now bring it back to center. Good job. Now press your hips back to your heels. And then walk your hands forward a few inches as you glide forward. Lift your chin. Nice little back bend. Press into the tops of the feet. And now press back towards child's pose. Press the hands into the mat. And continue gliding, flowing. Gliding the hips forward and down. Elbows are straight. Hands right below shoulders. Press back into the hands. Pressing back towards child's pose. And again, glide forward. Drop the hips down. Lift the chin up. And press back towards child's pose. And twice more. Gliding forward. And then pressing back towards child's pose. We've got one more to go. Gliding forward. And pressing back towards child's pose. Now I want you to bring your knees apart, knees towards the edges of the mat. Let your forehead come down. Reach the hands forward into child's pose. 5 breaths now. Breathe deeply, even breath. About 5 counts in and 5 counts out. Keep the breath flowing. And 3 more. Stay with it. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Now rise from child's pose. Bring your knees so that they're right under the hips. Walk the hands back so they're right under the shoulders. And then tuck your toes and lift your hips, finding our first downward facing dog. Now bend your knees and then straighten one leg and then bend both knees and straighten the other leg. This is just a way to get into the pedaling out, which we often do in downward facing dog, particularly our early downward dogs, in order to start to soften up, start to stretch out the muscles on the back of the legs and the muscles in the back at the same time. Go ahead, continue pedaling out once or twice more. And then come to stillness in downward dog. Make an effort to press your heels down so you feel a stretch in the back of the legs, maybe even the back of the knees. And now slowly walk your feet forward into a standing forward fold. Once you're there, take opposite elbows and press the elbows down towards the toes. Bring your weight forward into the front of the feet. Let your head get a little bit heavier and bend your knees. Just a little bit, not too much. Just to take some pressure off the hamstrings. Good, now release the hands. Keep your chin on your chest and round your spine as you rise and come up. Once you come up, reach your arms up and overhead, look up, and exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. Now on an inhale, reach up, keep the palms together, look up, coming into a little bit of a back bend. And then as you exhale, fold forward, hands stay together. Now release the hands, come to a half lift. Bring the weight forward so you're leaning forward. The weight is mostly on the front of the feet. And then exhale and let your head drop down. Now keep your chin on your chest. We're going to round the spine as we rise, drawing the navel up. And then let your arms float high. And bring the hands again to heart center, back to where we started. Let's do that again. Inhale, palms stay together, bend the elbows, look up. Maybe bring your thumbs to your forehead. And then as you exhale, fold forward, hands stay together. Now release the hands, come to a half lift. And on the exhale, let your head get heavy and drop down. Now keep your chin on your chest, draw your navel up as you rise, rounding the spine. Now the arms float high. And then hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, up and back. And then exhale, fold forward. Nice and slow, mindful movement. Inhale to a half lift. You've released your hands. And then exhale, let your head drop down and get heavy. Bend the knees just a little bit. Bring your weight forward into the front of the feet. I know it's hard to remember that sometimes. Now draw the navel up as you rise. Chin stays on chest. And then reach the arms up and overhead. And exhale, bringing your hands to heart center. Now 2 breaths, even breath. 5 counts in and 5 counts out. 2 more. And 1 more breath. Now, facing the front of your mat, bring your feet so they're about hip width apart, maybe just a little bit more, just slightly more. Now bring your arms out to a T with the palms facing down. Relax the hands a little bit. Relax the wrists. Now hinge at the hips and come down about halfway. Both legs are still straight. Now bend the right knee. This is standing twist. Press the right palm into the mat and reach the left hand high. Your left hip is higher than your right hip. And now bend that right knee just a little bit more. Keep the left leg straight. And now over to the other side. Both legs straighten. Now the left hand comes down as the left knee bends. The right leg straightens and the right hand reaches up towards the sky. You're looking up towards the thumb on that right hand if you can. Now bring weight back into that right foot. And then over to the other side. Second time here, right hand down, right knee is bent. The left leg is straight. Lift your gaze up so you're looking at the thumb on that left hand. And last one, left hand down, right hand reaches high. And now release the right hand down. Both legs are relatively straight, although you can bend them a little bit. Now bring your arms out to a T, press into the front of the feet, and rise nice and slow. Come up nice and slow. And then once you're up, let your arms float high, look up, and exhale the hands to heart center. Now, Arrow Mudra, interlace the fingers, point the index fingers. On an inhale, reach the fingers up and then back. Arms are straight if you can, a little deeper back bend than before. And then as you exhale, fold forward, come to a half lift. And then as you exhale, let your head drop down and step the left foot back. The right foot stays forward, and we've come to runner's lunge. Press the palms into the mat if you can. Bend the right knee so it's bent 90 degrees. Press back on the left heel so you feel some stretch in the back of that left leg, particularly the calf muscle. Now step the right foot back so it meets the left foot, and we've come to plank pose. Press both hands into the mat. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, bring the knees to the mat. Untuck the toes, bend the knees a little bit so the heels come closer to the head, and then come into cobra pose. Bring your chest to the mat and the chin, and then bring the top of the feet to the mat as we rise into our cobra pose. Take a breath. And one more. Now release all the way down, and tuck your toes, stiffen your body, push to plank, and then lift your hips into downward facing dog. Second time we've been in downward dog. Take a breath. And now press the heels into the mat on the exhale. Do that again. A big deep breath. And exhale. Press the heels down so you feel a big stretch in the back of the legs. On an inhale, lift the left leg up. And then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Now the left knee is bent about 90 degrees and press back on the right heel. Press your palms into the mat to help do that. Now step the right foot forward and let your head drop down. Standing forward, fold. Remember to bring the weight forward a little bit. Now the arms come out to a T. Slowly press into the front of the feet. Notice my heels are floating a little bit above the mat. Once you rise all the way up, reach your arms up and exhale. And bring your hands to heart center. Good work. Arrow Mudra again. Point the index fingers, interlace the other fingers. Inhale, reach up, and then back. Now swan dive, forward, fold, and then a half lift. This time, keep your left foot forward and step the right foot back into runner's lunge. Left knee is bent about 90 degrees. Press the whole left foot into the mat. Press back on the right heel. Press your palms into the mat. Now the left foot steps back into plank pose. Bring your gaze forward a little bit so you're looking about a foot in front of you, in front of your hands. Take a breath and let the breath go. Do that again. This time about 7 counts breathing in, and then 5 counts out, and again 7 counts in. So we're shortening up the exhale, and 4 counts out. Now the knees to the mat. Chest and chin follows as we inchworm our way into cobra pose. And then release. Tuck your toes, push to plank, and the hips rise again into downward facing dog. Are your heels getting closer to the mat now? This is our 3rd or 4th downward dog. Press your hands into the mat. You can bend the knees a little here if you want. And on an inhale, lift the right leg up and then step that right foot forward, bringing it between the hands. Press back on the left heel. And then the left foot steps forward. Let your head drop down. Arms come out to a T. Press into the front of the feet as you rise. And reach up and look up, and then exhale and bring the hands to heart center. Let's take a few breaths. You can let your eyes close down now if you like. Breathing deeply in and out. An even breath, about 5 counts in and 5 counts out should work nicely. And one more breath. Good. Now bring the arms out to a T and swan dive, forward fold. Come to a half lift. This time bring your hands to the top of your knees if you haven't been doing that before. Press the palms into the shins, right below the knees, and lengthen the spine. Bring your weight forward into the front of the feet again so the heels are floating just a bit, just barely above the mat. Heels just kissing the mat. Now draw your navel towards your chin. And then as you exhale, a little bend in the knees and fold forward and let your head drop down. Bring the hands to the mat. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back into runner's lunge. Now bring the left knee to the mat and rise to a low crescent lunge. You untuck the toes on the right foot. Reach the arms high. Interlace the fingers, point the index fingers, and then stretch the index fingers up towards the sky. Keep your gaze forward to begin. Now press into the right foot and then look up and see if you can bring your index fingers back a little bit, pointing towards the back of the space. Now reach straight up and then bring the hands down on either side of the right foot. Tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. Right foot steps back to a plank pose again. Bring your gaze forward a little bit so you're looking in front of the hands. And now flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog. Remember upward dog, the knees are off the mat. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Lots of length in the spine here. On an inhale, reach the right leg high and step it forward, bringing the hand between the feet, or the foot rather between the hands. Press back on that back heel, that left heel, and then bend the right knee a little bit more. Let your hips drop down. And then step the left foot forward. Let your head drop down. Now the arms come out to a T. Press into the front of the feet and rise. Feel that in the glutes and the hamstrings. Reach up high. And then exhale and bring the hands to heart center. 2 breaths now. Nice even breath. Now the arms out to a T. Swan dive, forward fold, half lift, hands to the top of the shins. Remember to press the palms into the shins. You don't need to grasp your shins. That engages the muscles in the arms and shoulders in a way that we really don't need here. Then as you exhale, fold forward and let your head drop down. Bring the hands to the mat and step the right foot back. Left knee bends about 90 degrees. Now bring that right knee to the mat and untuck the toes. Press in the left foot and reach the arms up high. Now interlace the fingers, point the index fingers, find arrow mudra. Your gaze is forward, directly towards the front of the mat, nice and level. So you're looking forward, your chin is level. Now lift your gaze up and point the index fingers towards the back of the space a little bit, finding a back bend. And then reach up with the index fingers, gaze is forward again, and bring the hands down. Tuck the toes, bring the right knee off the mat. Left foot steps back into a plank pose. We've been doing a lot of planks, haven't we? Take a breath. Now flow through a vinyasa. Upward dog and downward dog. Press the heels down towards the mat. Now bend the knees and hop forward if you can so the feet end up between the hands. Let your head get really heavy here and feel a deeper stretch in the back of the legs as you let your head drop down even more. You probably can gaze towards the back of the mat, so gaze between the legs, looking kind of between your calves. Now the arms come out to a T, press into the front of the feet and rise. Let your arms float high and look up, and then exhale. Then bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. You can let your eyes close down if you like. And one more. Now transfer the weight to the right foot, pick the left foot up, bend the left knee, and let's find tree pose. Sole the left foot to the inside of the right leg, or maybe the foot is on the calf. Remember, we don't bring the foot to the knee, to the inside of the knee, because that'll tend to put stress on the ACL and the other ligaments in the knee. If you feel unstable in the balancing pose, in tree pose, with the leg all the way, or the foot all the way up, you can bring the big toe of that left foot to the mat and the ankle, or the heel to the ankle. Either way, point that left knee off to the left as best you can, opening up the hip on the left side a bit. Take another breath. You're doing great. Stay with tree pose. Now release the left foot and bring the left ankle to the right knee, standing figure 4 now. Press the palms in towards one another at the midline of the body. And then bend your right knee, maybe bring that left elbow down to the knee and the right elbow to the instep of that left foot. Keep pressing down on the right foot. Now release the arms out to a T. Release the left foot, press back. This is an airplane version of Warrior 3. Stay with it. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Good job. Now release the hands down and bend the elbows. Reach the left leg up and overhead, standing splits. You can bend that right knee if this is creating too much sensation in the back of that right leg. Let your head get heavy and let the top of the head press down towards the mat. Now bend the right knee and step way back with the left foot into runner's lunge. And the right foot steps back to plank pose. Take a breath in plank. And then flow through a vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog. Now 3 breaths in upward dog. See if you can deepen the back bend a little bit. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Now press the hands into the mat. Try and press the front of your mat forward. So make that effort. Hopefully the mat actually isn't going to move, so it's just an isometric movement. At the same time, press your heels down towards the mat. Now glide forward to plank pose. And we're going to find a side plank. Roll over onto the pinky toe side of the right foot. The right hand stays on the mat. The left hand reaches up. If you want, you can reach the left hand forward and then maybe pick the left foot up. Couple of breaths. And release the foot. Release that left hand down. Back to plank pose. Take a breath in plank and flow through vinyasa. Upward dog. And downward dog. Now press the heels down. Lengthen the whole back body as you press your hands into the mat. And then glide forward again to plank pose. And we're going to find side plank on the other side. Roll over on the pinky toe of the right foot. The left foot rather. The left hand is down. The right hand reaches high to begin. If you want, you can reach your right hand forward and maybe pick that right foot up. 2 more breaths. And release the foot. Release that right hand back to plank pose. Now, downward dog, no vinyasa there. Breathe deeply. Then bring the knees to the mat and rise to kneeling with the palms on the knees. This is hero pose. Virasana is the name of the pose in Sanskrit. Now bring your hands behind you, lean back a little bit, and see if you can point your fingers towards the back of the mat. That's going to open up the chest. It'll bring the shoulder blades together on the back. Take a deep breath. Now see if you can lift your hips a little bit, and maybe look up, and perhaps look back. And then if you want to, you can walk the hands forward a little bit into a form of camel pose. You don't need to lift your hips very high, just a little bit. Good. Release your hips down to your heels, and then back to Virasana. Take a breath. And bring the hands to the mat now. Table pose. Walk the hands forward a couple of inches. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. And let's find downward facing dog again. Now bend the knees and hop. Feet end up between the hands. The head is heavy. Let your head drop down even a little bit more. Now the arms come out to a T. Press into the front of the feet as you rise and float up high. And exhale the hands, bringing them to heart center. Good job. Couple of breaths. Just let your breath recover from the side planks. Let's find the other side of our balancing sequence now. Leave the left foot on the mat, pick the right foot up, and find tree pose. Whoa! Find your version of tree pose. Three more breaths if you can, with the foot either all the way down, like we did on the other side, or maybe the foot comes to the calf, or maybe all the way up into the thigh. One more breath. Release the foot now, and let's find our standing figure four. Bring the right ankle to the left knee. Palms together, and then bend the knee. Let your hips drop down and breathe. Couple more breaths. Stay with it. Now you remember where we go from here. Bring the arms out to a T. Release that right foot, and then press it straight back as we come into our airplane variation of Warrior 3. When you're ready, release the hands down. Bend your elbows so your shoulders drop down, and reach the right leg up and overhead. So you can bring your forehead a little closer to the knee or the shin. Now, with control, bend that left knee and step back with the right foot into runner's lunge. And then the left foot steps back to plank pose. Now flow through your vinyasa and come to upward dog. 2 breaths in upward dog. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Let's find 3 more breaths in downward dog. Begin to feel that nice stretch along the whole back body, from the heels up to the hips, and from the hips through the shoulders and to the palms and the fingertips. Now, keeping your left heel pressing down towards the mat, reach the right leg up and overhead and find 3-legged dog. Open the hips to the right. Keep your shoulders square to the front of the mat. Now level the hips off, and then step the right foot forward so it comes between the hands. Leave the left hand on the mat, reach the right hand up into a lunge twist, and the right hand down and the left hand up into a revolved lunge twist. Let's do that again. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches, and the right hand comes down and the left hand reaches. Now spin the left heel to the mat and rise to Warrior 2. Take a breath and settle into Warrior 2. You can look forward over the extended right hand and maybe bend that right knee just a little bit more. Now extended side angle pose. Bring the elbow to the knee, reach with the left hand. Take a breath and extend that left hand. So reach through the left shoulder so the left arm is nice and straight. Right knee still bent. And now rise, reverse triangle pose. Right hand comes down to the back of the leg, or the left hand rather comes down to the back of the leg. The right hand reaches. Now the arms come out to a T. Take a breath, and then warrior two. Bend the right knee. Good. Now cartwheel the hands down on either side of the right foot, and step your right foot back to plank pose. Flow through a vinyasa. Upward dog, and then downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift the left leg up and find three-legged dog, opening the hips to the left. Then level the hips off, and left foot steps forward, bringing it between the hands. Right hand stays on the mat, left hand reaches high, lunge twist. And the left hand comes down, a right hand reaches, revolved, lunge twist. Again, right hand comes down, left hand reaches, lunge twist. And then bring that left hand down and reach the right hand high, second and last time on this side. And now rise to warrior two, spinning the right heel to the mat. Take a breath. Now extended side angle, bring the elbow to the knee, reach with the right hand. Remember to anchor into the pinky toe of that right foot, creating sturdiness in the pose. Now rise through warrior two and to reverse triangle pose. Now the arms out to a T, bend the left knee, and warrior two. Settle into warrior two. One more breath. Good. Now bring the hands down on either side of that left foot. Come up onto the ball, the right foot. Left foot steps back to plank pose. Take a breath. Now flow through vinyasa. Upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Stretch it out now. Press the heels down. Press your hands into the mat. Now bend the knees and hop. Feet end up between the hands in our standing forward fold. Let your head drop down and bend your knees a little bit more so that your head gets a little bit closer to the mat. Now bend the knees and rise, and let's find chair pose. In chair pose, the weight comes back into the heels, and the feet can either be together. I know some of you like to do it that way, and that's fine. Or you can bring the feet up to hip width apart, probably not much more than that. Try and reach up in your chair pose, so you're stretching out of the shoulders. But if the mobility of your shoulders doesn't allow you to do that, you can always bring your hands to heart center. 2 more breaths. Really starting to feel that in the quadriceps. Now straighten the legs and swan dive, forward fold, come to a half lift, and then bring your hands to the mat. Leave the right foot forward, left foot steps back into runner's lunge. Press both hands into the mat, press the right knee forward, press back on the left heel. Now reach the right leg up and overhead, 3-legged dog. That's the second time we've done that on this side. Now level the hips and bring your right knee towards your right elbow. You can bend the elbows here if you want. Now straighten the elbows. Reach the right leg back up and overhead. Then as you exhale, step the right foot forward, bringing it between the hands. Left hand stays on the mat, right hand reaches high, lunge twist. And right hand down, and the left hand reaches, revolved, lunge twist. And again, left hand down, right hand reaching. And right hand down, and left hand reaching. Now spin the left heel to the mat, rise, warrior two. Second time on this side, second warrior two sequence on this side. Checking with the alignment. Make sure your toes on the right foot are pointing forward, toes on the left foot pointing off to the left. Bend your right knee just a little bit more, starting to really feel that in the quadricep muscles. Reverse warrior now. Left hand comes down to the back of the leg. Right hand reaches up and over. You can bend the right elbow. That right knee is still bent and pressing forward. Take a breath. Now extended side angle pose, elbow to knee. Reach with the left hand. Now rise to reverse warrior. Right leg straightens. Right hand reaches up and back. Remember to press into the right foot. Lengthen the right side body. Now the arms come out to a T. Keep both legs straight. Press both feet into the mat. Now press into the left foot and reach the right hand forward. Drop it down. Triangle pose. You know how to do this. We've done this a lot. Triangle pose we've done 1,000,000 times. See if your left hand is over your left shoulder over right shoulder over right hand. One more breath. Good. Now bend the right knee and rise to warrior two. And then cartwheel the hands down. Coming up onto the ball of the left foot, step that right foot back to plank pose. Take a breath in plank. And then flow through a vinyasa. Upward dog. And downward dog. On an inhale, reach the right leg up again, three-legged dog. Now, bring the right knee under the body and tap the left elbow with the right knee if you can, and then reach that right leg back up and step it forward so it comes between the hands. Left foot follows, standing forward fold. Let your head drop down. Arms come out to a T now and rise, reverse swan dive. Then on the exhale, chair pose. Weight in the heels, gaze is forward. Now the hands come to heart center, and we're going to do a chair twist. Left elbow to right knee, the right elbow is reaching high. Back to center, keep the hands together, and to the other side, right elbow to left knee. You guys are doing great. I know this is a vigorous practice today. And back to center, back to chair. Now straighten the legs and swan dive, forward fold. Half lift. Exhale, let your head drop down and get nice and heavy. Now leave that left foot forward and step the right foot back into runner's lunge. Pressing the palms into the mat, reach the left leg up and overhead, three-legged dog. The hips open to the left now, bending the left knee. See if you can stack the left hip over the right, and then level the hips, and step that left foot forward, comes between the hands. Right hand is down, left hand is up. And the left hand comes down, and the right hand is up. This is a revolved lunge twist. One more time on each side, right hand down, left hand reaching. And the left hand down, and the right hand up. Now spin the heel to the mat, that back heel, and rise warrior two. I'm going to turn to the other side of my mat. So the left foot is forward, left knee is pointing towards the front of your mat, anchoring to the pinky toe of that right foot, and then look forward over the extended left hand. Take a breath. And let it go. Do that again. A big, deep breath. And let it go. Reverse warrior now. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches. That left knee is still bent and pressing forward. Flow into an extended side angle pose. Bringing the elbow to the knee. Stretching the right side body by anchoring into the pinky toe of the right foot. Rise now to a reverse triangle. Left leg straightens. Reach up and back with your left hand. Now bring the arms out to a T. Press into both feet and press the feet apart from one another. Now press into the right foot and reach the left hand forward and bring it down. So on the other side, I brought my spine to a place where it was pretty much parallel to the mat. And here I'm up quite a bit higher. You may be here too. Just showing you that you can do triangle pose this way as well. But notice my heart is still open to the right side of the mat. And my right shoulder is still over my left shoulder. One more breath. Now engage the core, bend the left knee, rise back to warrior two. Beautiful. Now cartwheel your hands down on either side of that left foot. Now reach the left leg up and overhead and find three-legged dog again. Now bring the left knee to the left elbow, bending the elbows if you want, and then kick that left leg all the way back up. Now knee towards chin or nose, rounding the spine, and then kick the left leg up, and then under the body, right or left knee towards right elbow, and then kick it all the way back up, and then step that left foot forward, runner's lunge. The right foot's going to follow it. Let your head drop down, standing forward fold. Now the arms out to a T, press into the front of the feet and rise. Reach up high, and then as you exhale, chair pose, final one. Pull your tailbone down towards your heels a little bit, bring your gaze forward so you're looking towards the front of your space. Your gaze is basically level. Now bend the knees a little more, bring the hands to heart center. And again, bend the knees. And bend the knees even some more. Take a breath. And then eventually release all the way down. And blessedly, we have come to a seat at the front of our mats, or towards facing the front of our mats. Reach the feet out in front of you, straightening the legs, toes pointing towards the sky. Reach the arms up, and then exhale and fold forward, letting the head come down towards the knees or the shins. Lengthen the spine. Bend the knees if you like. Now chin on chest, round the spine as you rise. And once you come all the way up, press your palms into the mat. This is staff pose. The hands are right on the outside of the hips. Press the hands down, straighten the elbows, and pull your shoulders back a little bit. Gaze again is forward towards the front of your space. And let it go. Good job. Now bend the knees and reach the hands forward. Pick the heels up into half boat pose. This is an unsupported version of half boat pose. If you like, if that's too much, you can bring your hands to the back of the knees to support your legs in the pose. Also supports the abdominal muscles, the lower back muscles, and the gluteal muscles. Takes a little pressure off them if you want to use the support. One more breath here. Now straighten the legs, full boat pose. Cross the left leg or left ankle over the right, press through the right heel. And then other way. Cross the right leg over the left, press through the left heel. Now bring the soles of the feet together. Keep the heels floating above the mat. This is a floating cobbler pose. One more breath. Keep the hands on the feet. I'm going to turn to face you. Keep the hands on the outer side of the pinky toe side of the feet. Your heels are still floating. Keep your spine long, and then slowly straighten the legs, and then bring the feet apart from one another. And breathe. 2 more breaths. Now bring the feet back together if you can. If you fall over, don't worry about it. Then bend the knees. Reach the hands forward. We're back to our unsupported boat pose. Straighten the legs and let the heels float down. Reach up high and then exhale and fold forward. Let your head drop down. Now with your chin on your chest, round your spine, drawing your navel towards your spine as you come up. Now bend the left knee and bring the sole of the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. So you're pulling that heel up closer to that right hip. And then left knee pointing as far up, straight up towards the sky as you can. And now hug the knee in the crook of the elbow, and bring the left hand down behind you. And then look over the left shoulder. Spinal twist. Marichiasana is the name of the pose. This pose was named for the sage Marichi. Asana is a posture, hence Marichiasana, a pose for the saint Marichi, or for the sage rather, Marichi. One more breath. Good. Release it. Gently come back to center. Then we'll go to the other side. So straighten the left leg, sole of the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Hug the knee in, right hand down behind you. Breathe in deeply and then exhale and twist, looking over that right shoulder. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. And let it go. Come back to center. And now roll down to your back. Wow, where has the time gone today? We're almost out of time. Legs up the wall pose. Bend the knees. Then straighten the legs. Press the heels up to the sky. Now press your tailbone down towards the mat. Arms out to a T now. Knees bend as the heels come down. And now we're just going to massage the low back a little bit. So let the knees float to the left, and then back to center and over to the right. And then back to center and to the left. And you'll notice a little massaging action of the sacrum and the muscles at the very top of the glutes. And then back to center. And now bring the feet to the mat. Bring your hands down by your side. Walk the feet back so you can brush your heels with your fingertips. And let's find either a bridge pose, or if you prefer, a wheel pose. For bridge, just lift your hips, pressing your feet into the mat. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back. And if you want to move into wheel pose, palms touch on the floor or the mat behind or actually above the shoulders, and then lift your hips and let your head drop down. 2 more breaths wherever you are. And release. Let your tailbone come down to the mat. Hug the knees gently in towards your chest. If you like, you can bring the forehead towards the knees. And then release everything down, my friends, into Shavasana. And let your eyes close down. Let your breath begin to soften. Now find an even breath. Probably about 5 counts in and 5 counts out. Although, if you're doing 4 counts or 6 counts or 7 counts, that's okay too. The important part here is to have the breath even, the inhale and the exhale. A couple more even breaths. Feeling everything start to settle around you. Now inhale for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then exhale for 7 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And do that again. Inhale 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then exhale 7 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time like that. 5 counts in and 7 counts out. And now 5 counts in. And if you can do it without straining, 8 or 9 or even 10 counts on the exhale. We'll do that a total of 3 times. When we lengthen the exhale, we are relaxing the body or promoting relaxation. And one more time. 5 counts in, 10 counts out. Now let go of the breath. Let go of conscious control of your breathing. And just let your breath settle into its natural rhythm, whatever that is for you in this moment. Now reach your arms up and overhead so that the back of the hands touch the floor behind you. Reach through your fingers. And now point your toes and stretch through the toes. So huge body stretch through the fingertips and the tips of the toes. Now do that again, and this time draw a huge breath in, as big as you can, filling the whole body with breath. And then a big exhale, let it go. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in, even deeper than the last one. Fill your whole body to the maximum. Reaching, stretching, and then exhale and let it go. Now bend your knees and roll to your side. You can keep your eyes closed. And just pause for a moment on your side, taking the time to notice what it feels like to rest on your side in this way. When you're ready, with the eyes still gently closed, bring yourself to a seat. And once you find yourself seated on your mat, let your hands come to heart center and press your palms together, just lightly. Thank you so much for joining me today for our 60-minute yoga practice. I offer you loving kindness. May you be happy and well, and may you be safe. May you be peaceful, and may you be at ease. Namaste.